We shouldn't be out here alone.
Why not?
If your father...
He'll never know we're gone.
But if he finds out...
You don't need to be afraid of my father.
Are you sure?
Yes.
We shouldn't go in.
Of course we should.
Get out. Get out!
Let's go.
No.
Listen to your friend.
They said that you were terrifying. With cat's teeth and 3 eyes. You're not terrifying. You're boring.
You don't know what I am.
I know you're a witch. And you can see the future. Tell me mine.
Everyone wants to know their future. Until they know their future.
This is my father's land. My land. Tell me my future, or I'll have your 2 boring eyes gouged out of your head.
Your blood. Give me a taste. Three questions you get. You won't like the answers.
I've been promised to the prince. When will we marry?
You'll never wed the prince. You'll wed the king.
But I will be queen.
Oh, yes. You'll be queen. For a time. Then comes another. Younger. More beautiful. To cast you down and take all you hold dear.
Will the king and I have children?
No. The king will have 20 children. And you will have 3.
That doesn't make sense.
Gold will be their crowns. Gold. Their shrouds.
Come on, we have to go. We have to go. Sassy!
Your Grace, we are honored by your presence. The mourners are waiting.
They will keep waiting. I want a moment alone with him.
But, Your Grace, many of these lords and ladies have traveled day and night to be here from all 7 kingdoms.
They will wait.
He never wanted you to be a king's guard, but here you are, protecting his dead body.
What he built, it's ours. He built it for us. He meant it for us. They're going to try to take it away. All of it.
They?
All of them out there are enemies.
They're waiting in line to make sure he's really dead, and as soon as they see the stones on his eyes, they'll set to work on tearing us apart.
They have nothing to do with it. The man who murdered our father, he tore us apart. He's the enemy. I've been telling you for years. You've been defending him for
This
years.
is exactly what they want.
And now our father is dead. And that little monster is out there somewhere drawing breath. Did you set him free? Tyrion may be a monster, but at least he killed our father on purpose. You killed him by mistake, with stupidity. You're a man of action, aren't you? When it occurs to you to do something, you do it. Never mind the consequences. Take a look. Look at the consequences. Here they are. He loved you more than anyone in this world.
Apologies.
I still don't see why I had to stay in this fucking crate once we set sail.
I saved your life. If they catch you, they catch me. I cannot say I feel overly guilty about leaving you in that fucking crate.
Do you know what it's like to stuff your shit through one of those air holes?
No. I only know what it's like to pick up your shit and throw it overboard.
Ventus?
The home of my colleague, Illyrio Mapatis, a merchant. He and I met many years ago through mutual friends. A group of people who saw Robert Baratheon for the disaster he was. We tried to do what was best for the realm by supporting a Targaryen restoration. And thus began the chain of mistakes that has led us both here. Things have gotten worse, not better. Westeros needs to be saved from itself.
Much better.
My lord?
I don't think I am anymore a lord. Are you a lord if you kill your father?
I don't imagine they revoke your nobility for killing a whore. Must happen all the time.
You already drank yourself across the narrow sea.
In a box. Why stop now?
Because we are talking about the future of our country.
future is shit. Just like the past.
Eu vou Shank. Shank por Gilles.
تا شدلی باش.
Shank بشیشکش.
Sons of the Harpy.
Yes, Your Grace. They left it on the body.
They've never killed before.
It was only a matter of time, Your Grace. Conquerors always meet with resistance.
I didn't conquer them, their own people did.
Dal yelon yech shamirosh. Oshiglis.
Separ tolkidosu unagon gerenyagon ponte bevruza mosador.
He did not risk his life fighting for his freedom so cowards in masks could take it away. And I did not take up residence in this pyramid so I could watch the city below decline into chaos. What was the name of the man you lost?
White Rat, Your Grace.
I want him buried with honor.
Publicly. In the Temple of the Graces.
The Sons of the Harpy will hear that message.
Make them very angry.
Angry snakes lash out. Makes chopping off their heads that much easier.
Find the men who did this and bring them to me.
Your Grace.
Torkonodo.
Sunday, he not.
I wanted to speak with you.
Why do you come?
White Rat, the Ansaliatu. I have heard they found his body in a brothel. I have heard that
More than one Unsullied has been known to visit Marine's brothels. May I ask you why? Why would an Unsullied go to a brothel?
I do not know. I must go.
Get your shield up.
It's too heavy.
If it wasn't heavy, it wouldn't stop a sword. Now, get it up. Come. Try it again. Drive at me. Keep your shield up, or I'll ring your head like a bell.
Shouldn't you be training too?
Well, I'm hardly a new recruit. How many brothers can say that they've killed a White Walker and a Fen? I might be the first in history.
These men need a firm arms. Always have. They're poachers and thieves. Not soldiers.
That one hates me.
If Sir Alice is chosen as the new Lord Commander, he hates the wildlings. All the wildlings.
Don't let them send us away.
It's not a sure thing. Sir Dennis Mallister has commanded the Shadow Tower for 20 years, and people say he's a good man. He's running against Sir Alice.
Sam, don't let them send us away.
I told you. Wherever you go, I go too.
You can't leave, they'll execute you.
Good, good. Pivot. Don't forget to pivot. Shield up.
The king wants a word.
You're not cold, my lady.
Never. The Lord's fire lives within me, Jon Snow. Feel. Are you a virgin?
No.
Good. Your Grace, the Bastard of Winterfell.
You know who rules at Winterfell now?
Roose Bolton.
The traitor who plunged a dagger in Robb Stark's heart. Don't you want to avenge him?
I want a great many things, Your Grace. But I'm a sworn brother of the Night's Watch now.
I've been talking to your sworn brothers. Many of them love you.
They're good men.
Many don't. You were seen taking the body of a wildling girl north of the wall. Why?
It's where she belonged.
Some in the Night's Watch feel you have too much affection for the wildlings.
They were born on the wrong side of the wall. Doesn't make them monsters.
No matter. I shall take back the North from the thieves who stole it. Tywin Lannister is dead, he can't protect them now. I shall mount Roose Bolton's head on a spike. But if I'm to take Winterfell, I need more men.
The men of the Night's Watch are sworn to play no part.
Talking about the damned Night's Watch. Talking about the wildlings.
Your Grace, you want the wildlings to march in your army?
They swear to follow me, I'll pardon them. We'll take Winterfell. Once the North has won, I'll declare them citizens of the realm. I'll give them land to live on.
It's a fair offer. More than fair.
I'll offer them their lives and their freedom. If Mance kneels before me and swears his loyalty.
Don't think that's likely.
You admire him, don't you?
I respect him.
He likes you. Convince him to bend the knee.
Grace.
Or he burns.
How much time do I have?
Nightfall. Sun drops fast this time of year. Hurry, Jon Snow.
Shield up. Attack, my lord. Attack. Don't cross your feet.
My sons had swords in their hands from the time they could walk. This one?
Lord Arryn will never be a great warrior.
Great warrior? He swings a sword like a girl with palsy.
My lord.
Sword up, my lord. Some boys develop more slowly. He's still young.
He's 13. Boys go to war at 13.
He has other gifts.
Does he?
The gift of a great name. Sometimes, that's all one needs.
Goodbye, Lord Royce, and thank you for all you've done for me.
I have done nothing more than my duty, my lady.
I have no doubt that on my return, Robin's skills will have improved immeasurably.
He'll be safe here. As for his skills, I make no promises.
Well, we head north at some point. He said Sansa had a brother at Castle Black. We're a few days' ride from the King's Road. But that'll take us...
Us? The only reason you're here is because Jaime Lannister told me you weren't safe in the capital. You're hundreds of miles from King's Landing. No one knows what you look like. No one cares. You're safe.
But I'm your squire.
Do you even know what a squire is?
An attendant to a knight?
I'm not a knight. That means you're not a squire.
Well, where would I go?
I don't care. I'm not your mother.
You swore to find the Stark girls.
I found Arya. She didn't want my protection.
Sansa's still mine.
Will you shut your mouth? I didn't ask for your advice. I don't want anyone following me. I'm not a leader. All I ever wanted was to fight for a lord I believed in. The good lords are dead and the rest are monsters. You told Lord Royce we were going to the Fingers.
I did.
But we're heading west.
We are.
If he wanted to betray us, he already would have.
Lord Royce might be as honorable as he thinks he is, but he's not alone in that castle. Do you trust all those knights and ladies, stable boys and serving girls?
No, do you trust the carriage driver or the knights escorting us?
No. But I pay them well. They've seen what happens to men who disappoint me.
So where are we going? To a land where you trust everyone?
To a land so far from here, even Cersei Lannister can't get her hands on you.
It was such a deep, deep shock to us all. Your father was a force to be reckoned with. He truly was. I wouldn't presume to claim to have known him as such, but just being in his presence was enough to make it so clear just how formidable a person you were dealing with. What a force to be reckoned with.
Thank you so much for your kind words.
Deepest condolences, Your Grace. This tragedy. I never trusted Varys. I often warned.
Your Grace.
Cousin Lancel, I hardly recognized you.
My deepest sympathies.
I apologize for my son's appearance.
Uncle, that's quite all right.
They call themselves sparrows. Bloody fanatics. Religion has its place, of course, but at a certain point. They never would have come to the capital when Tywin was alive.
Sure, he'll grow out of it, whatever it is. Excuse me.
Of course.
Your wounds from the Blackwater seem to have healed.
It wasn't my wounds that needed healing.
What can I do for you?
You can forgive me.
What could you possibly have done to warrant my forgiveness?
I led you into the darkness.
I doubt you've ever led anyone anywhere.
I tempted you into our unnatural relations. And of course, there was the king. His boar hunt. His wine.
I don't know what you're talking about.
I'm a different person now. I found peace in the light of the Seven. You can too. They watch over all of us, ready to dole out mercy or justice. Their world is at hand. I will pray for your father's soul.
The day Tywin Lannister's soul needs your help.
It looks like dawn.
It doesn't.
It does. That's the Sunspear bit right there. And that's where the mountains are. And over here is Sunsnake? Stonespear?
Sandstone.
Yes. Yes, sandstone. Just there.
Fine. It's dawn.
We should go there. I think we would have a lovely time, judging by my experience.
That would be wonderful. Dawn, Highgarden, anywhere but here.
We're late for dinner as it is.
You're very respectful.
I'm very hungry. What's your name?
Oliver, my lady.
I'm afraid my brother is keeping the king waiting. Oliver.
My lady.
Perhaps you might consider being a bit more discreet?
Why? They all know about me anyway. Everybody knows everything about everyone. What's the point in trying to keep a secret in a place like this?
In any event, you shouldn't keep your intended waiting.
My intended? Please, Tywin's dead. That means no one can force Cersei to marry me.
Lucky you.
Unlucky you.
You think I want that woman married to my brother?
If she doesn't marry me, she doesn't go to Highgarden, which means she stays in King's Landing, which means you're trapped here with Cersei Lannister as your mother by law.
Perhaps.
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 Eunuch, the spider, the master of whisperers.
Imp, half man. There are faster ways to kill yourself.
Not for a coward.
You are many things, my friend, but not a coward.
You never told me why you set me free.
Your brother asked me to.
Would have said no.
Refuse the Kingslayer, a dangerous proposition.
Not as dangerous as releasing me. You risked your life, your position, everything. Why? You're not family. You owe me nothing.
I didn't do it for you. I did it for the Seven Kingdoms.
Drunken dwarf will never be the savior of the Seven Kingdoms.
I don't believe in saviors. I believe men of talent have a part to play in the war to come.
Going to have to find another soldier. Done with Westeros, and Westeros is done with me.
You have many admirable qualities. Self-pity is not one of them. Any fool with a bit of luck can find himself born into power. But earning it for yourself, that takes work.
Not well suited for work.
I think you are. You have your father's instincts for politics, and you have compassion.
Compassion, yes. I killed my lover with my bare hands. I shot my own father with a crossbow.
I never said you were perfect.
What is it you want, exactly?
Peace. Prosperity. A land where the powerful do not prey on the powerless.
Where the castles are made of gingerbread and the moats are filled with blackberry wine. The powerful have always preyed on the powerless. That's how they became powerful in the first place.
Perhaps. And perhaps we've grown so used to horror, we assume there's no other way. If you sat on the Iron Throne, would you spread misery throughout the land?
I will never sit on the Iron Throne.
No, you won't. But you could help another climb those steps and take that seat. The Seven Kingdoms need someone stronger than Tommen, but gentler than Stannis. A monarch who can intimidate the High Lords and inspire the people. A ruler loved by millions with a powerful army and the right family name.
Good luck finding him.
Who said anything about him? You have a choice, my friend. You can stay here at Illyrio's palace and drink yourself to death. Or you can ride with me to Meereen, meet Daenerys Targaryen, and decide if the world is worth fighting for.
Can I drink myself to death on the road to Meereen?
When did the Unsullied start patrolling the streets of Meereen?
Looks like your friends haven't been behaving themselves.
Our mission to Yunkai was a resounding success. The wise masters of Yunkai have agreed to cede power to a council of elders made up of both the freedmen and the former slaveholders. All matters of consequence will be brought to you for review.
Good.
They did ask for some concessions.
Concessions.
Politics is the art of compromise, Your Grace.
I'm not a politician. I'm a queen.
Forgive me. You're right, of course. Still, it's easier to rule happy subjects than angry ones.
I don't expect the wise masters to be happy. Slavery made them rich. I ended slavery.
They do not ask for the return of slavery. They ask for the reopening of the fighting pits.
The fighting pits. Where slaves fought slaves to the death.
In the new world that you've brought to us, free men would fight free men. The pit fighters you liberated plead for this opportunity. Bring some here and ask them yourself.
No fighting pits.
Opening them would show the people of Yunkai and Meereen that you respect their traditions.
I do not respect the tradition of human cockfighting.
If you could
How many times must I say no before you understand? Whatever he wants from me, he's not going to get it. If he really believes I'm going to reopen the fighting pits...
You should reopen the fighting pits.
What?
My mother was a whore. I told you that. She liked to drink pear brandy. The older she got, the less she made selling a body, the more she wanted to drink. So One day when I was 12, she sold me to the slaver she fucked the night before.
I'm sorry.
Why? I was a bad child. I wasn't big, but I was quick, and I loved to fight. So they sold me to a man in Tolos who trained fighters for the pits. I had my first match when I was 16.
You were sold into slavery, forced to fight to the death for the amusement of the masters, and you're defending the fighting pits.
I'm only here because of those pits. I learned to fight like a Dothraki screamer, a Norvoshi priest, a Westerosi knight. Soon I was famous. 10,000 men and women screamed my name when I stepped into the pit. I made so much money for my master. He set me free when he died. I joined the Second Sons, and then I met you. You're the queen. Everyone's too afraid of you to speak truth. Everyone but me. You've made thousands of enemies all across the world. As soon as they see weakness, they'll attack. Show your strength. Here. Now.
That's why I have the Unsullied patrolling the streets.
Anyone with a chest full of gold can buy an army of Unsullied. You're not the mother of Unsullied. You're the mother of dragons.
I don't want another child's bones dropped at my feet. No one's seen Drogon in weeks. For all I know, he's flown halfway across the world. I can't control them anymore.
A dragon queen with no dragons? It's not a queen.
Viserion? Rhaegal? Easy, easy, easy.
So here we are.
Here we are.
When we first met, you were my prisoner. And now, for our last meeting.
This doesn't have to be our last meeting.
No, but it will be.
You know what Stannis wants?
He wants me to bend the knee. And he wants the free folk to fight for him. I'll give him this much. He's bold.
Shouldn't a king be bold?
Oh, I respect him. If he gets what he wants, I expect he'll be a better ruler than the fools sitting on the Iron Throne the last 100 years. But I'll never serve him.
You told me you weren't here to conquer. You told me your people have bled enough.
That's right. I don't want them bleeding for Stannis Baratheon either.
You spent your life convincing 90 clans to come together for the first time in history. Thenns and Hornfoots, the Ice River clans, even the Giants. A life's work uniting them. You didn't do it for power. You didn't do it for glory. You brought them together to save them because none of them has survived the winter, not if they're north of the wall. Isn't their survival more important than your pride?
Pride? Fuck my pride. This isn't about that.
Then bend the knee and save your people.
They followed me because they respected me. Because they believed in me. The moment I kneel for a Southern king, that's all gone.
And how many tens of thousands are out there right now? How many women? How many children? And you won't go out and rescue them because why? You're afraid of looking afraid.
Oh, I am afraid. No shame in that. How will they do it? Beheading? Hanging?
They'll burn you alive.
Bad way to go. I'll be honest with you. I don't want to die. I'm burnt to death. I don't want people to remember me like that, scorched and screaming. But it's better than betraying everything I believe.
And what happens to your people? You preserve your dignity and die standing. And they'll sing songs about you. You'd rather burn than kneel, the great hero. Until winter comes. And the White Walkers come for us all, and there's no one left to sing.
You're a good lad. Truly, you are. But if you can't understand why I won't enlist my people in a foreigner's war, there's no point explaining.
I think you're making a terrible mistake.
The freedom to make my own mistakes was all I ever wanted.
Lance Raider, you've been called the king beyond the wall. Westeros only has one king. Bend the knee, I promise you mercy. Kneel and live.
This was my home for many years. I wish you good fortune in the wars to come.
We all must choose. Man or woman, young or old, lord or peasant, our choices are the same. We choose light, or we choose darkness. We choose good, or we choose evil. We choose the true God, or the false. Free folk. There is only one true king, and his name is Stennis. Here stands your king of lies. Behold the fate of those who choose the darkness.
old times, whenever Braavos stood in danger, the Titan would step with fire in his eyes. He'd wade into the sea and smash the enemies.
He's just a statue.
Don't be afraid. He's announcing our arrival.
I'm not afraid.
House of Black and White. This is where you'll find the man you seek.
Yeah, I leave you.
Thank you for bringing me.
Any man of Braavos would have done the same. Vala Morghulis.
Vala Tahiris. Hello. Vala Morghulis. Jack and Hagar gave me this.
No one here by that name.
Please. I crossed the narrow sea. I have nowhere else to go.
You have everywhere else to go.
But wait! Cersei. Walder Frey. The Mountain. Meryn Trant. 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 Cersei. Walder Frey. The Mountain. Meryn Trant.
Must be good food if it's crowded.
Ale?
Before we left, a maester gave you a raven scroll.
You are becoming an observant young lady.
My mother used to say, dark wings, dark words.
An old saying. Inaccurate in this case.
Excuse me.
So it was good news.
My marriage proposal has been accepted.
Thought you still mourned the death of my beloved Aunt Lysa.
Ale?
I'll have some.
My lady. What is it? Sansa Stark. Don't look. You sure? She's dyed her hair, but it's her. She's sitting with Peter Baelish.
Littlefinger?
A bunch of knights with him.
Bunch? What's a bunch, Podrick? 6, 20?
10, I think. Too many. My lady, I don't think this is the right
Ready
place.
the horses.
We only have one horse.
Find more.
Do you like the taste?
Don't see what all the fuss is about. Why do men love it so much?
It gives some men courage.
Does it give you courage?
That's fair enough.
Lord Baelish, Lady Sansa, my name is Brienne of Tarth.
We've met with Renly Baratheon. What did he say about you? He said, your loyalty came free of charge. Someone appears to have paid quite a bit for it since then.
Lady Sansa, before your mother's death, I was her sworn sword. I gave my word I would find you and protect you. I will shield your back and keep your counsel, and give my life for yours if need be. I swear it by the old gods and the new.
Please, Lady Brienne, no need for such formality. You were Catelyn Stark's sworn sword.
I was.
Strange. I knew Cat from the time we were children. She never mentioned you.
It was after Renly's murder.
Ah, yes. You were accused of killing him.
I tried to save him.
But you were accused.
By men who didn't see what happened.
And what did happen?
He was murdered by a shadow. A shadow with the face of Stannis Baratheon.
A shadow? With the face... This woman swore to protect Renly. She failed. She swore to protect your mother. She failed. Why would I want somebody with your history of failure guarding Lady Sansa?
Why should you have any say in her affairs?
Because I am her uncle. I married her Aunt Lysa shortly before my beloved's untimely death. We're family now, and you are an outsider. Forgive me, Lady Brienne, but experience has made me wary of outsiders.
Lady Sansa, if we can have a word alone.
No.
Please, my lady, if I could explain.
I saw you at Joffrey's wedding, bowing to the king.
Neither of us wanted to be there. Sometimes we don't have a choice.
And sometimes we do. You should leave.
We don't want our new friend wandering the countryside alone. The roads in these parts aren't safe. Why don't you stay?
The man asked you to say, so what?
a good boy. Come on. Come on. No, stop! Guess that means you're unarmed.
Down, Podrick, down!
Podrick,
Yes, my lady.
you can stand now.
Yes, my lady. Sansa Stark.
Wary of strangers as you should be. I saw her riding on the East Road with Littlefinger. We'll follow them.
My lady, if both Stark girls refused your service, maybe you're released from your vow.
I swore to their mother I would protect those girls.
But if they don't want your protection...
Do you think she's safe with Littlefinger?
No, my lady.
Get your horse.
A summons from the Queen.
There are only two like it in the world. The one I'm wearing, the one I gave to Marcella.
It's a threat.
Of course it's a threat. Our daughter's alone in Dawn, surrounded by people who hate our family. It's a threat.
No note?
They blame us for the death of Oberyn and his sister, and every other tragedy that's befallen their cursed country. I will burn their cities to the ground if they touch her!
Softer. What? Not so loud.
Our daughter's in danger, and you're worried I'm speaking too loudly.
Well, can't know she's our daughter.
Then don't call her your daughter. You've never been a father to her.
If I was a father to any of my children, they'd be stoned in the streets.
And what has your caution brought? Our eldest child murdered at his own wedding. Our only daughter shipped off to Dawn. Our baby boy set to marry that smirking whore from Highgarden.
I'm gonna make things better.
You've never made anything better.
I'm going to Dawn, and I'm bringing our daughter home.
You can't just ask Prince Doran to give her back. She's promised to his son.
I'm not going to ask him anything.
You go down there with an army, it's an act of war.
No army. Do you know where they're keeping her?
Oberyn mentioned the War's Gardens.
I'll find her. Is there anything else, Your Grace?
You're going to Dawn. A one-handed man. Alone.
I never said I was going alone.
No sunflowers. I don't like yellow. Roses are very nice, definitely roses. And music, I adore music, but no flutes. I hate flutes. We can have a harp if you like, but no flutes. Then there's the food. Food is the most important thing, don't you agree? We're going to need pigeon pies. That's what they eat in the capital, don't they? Don't they?
Don't who?
People eat pigeon pie in the capital.
They certainly do, my dear. They certainly do. It's a fine place, isn't it? A fine place. I never thought I'd end up settling down in a place like this.
You won't.
Pardon?
We won't get to live at Stokeworth. When Mother dies, my sister gets the castle because she's older. She hates me. She calls me mean names, and sometimes, even still, she pulls my hair when Mother's not looking.
You know what I think? I think you're a good person. And your sister is a mean person.
She is.
I've been all over the world. And if there's one thing I've learned, it's that meanness comes around. People like your sister, they always get what's coming to them, eventually. One way or another.
Who's that?
Jaime fucking Lannister. Sir Jaime?
Sir Bronn of the Blackwater.
I was very sorry to hear about your father.
Thank you.
This is my betrothed, Lollys.
A pleasure.
Run along, love.
Beautiful young bride you've chosen.
When were you planning on getting married?
Just get on with it.
On with what?
What you're here for. There's no way this little visit could possibly mean anything good for me.
It's very good for you.
Lollys will be marrying Sir Willis Bracken. We made a deal, your sister and I.
I would have advised against that.
How is this good for me?
Because you're going to come with me and help me with something important. And when we return, I'm going to give you a much better girl and a much better castle.
Return from where?
As far south as south goes.
Does not wish to be disturbed.
Remove yourself from my path, or I'll take that long axe and I'll shove it at you.
Let her pass.
Your brother was murdered. And you sit here in the water gardens, staring at the sky and doing nothing.
Oberyn was slain during a trial by combat. By law, that is no murder.
Your brother.
You don't have to remind me. He was my brother long before he was anything to you.
What will you do about his death?
I will bury him. I will mourn for him.
And then?
You would have me go to war.
The whole country would have you go to war.
Then we are lucky the whole country does not decide.
The Sand Snakes are with me. They have the love of their people. They will avenge their father while you sit here in your chair doing nothing. Oberyn is dead. And this Lannister girl skips about the water gardens, eating our food, breathing our air. How many of your brothers and sisters do they have to kill? Let me have her. Let me send her to Cersei. One finger at a time.
I loved my brother. And you made him very happy. For that, you will always have a place in my heart. But we do not mutilate little girls for vengeance. Not here. Not while I rule.
And how long will that be?
The Unsullied are too conspicuous.
Anyone could see you coming from a mile off. Of course you haven't found any Sons of the Harpy. You haven't, have you?
My second sons, on the other hand, they drink, whore, fight in the streets. They blend in. They overhear things in taverns, follow people from the taverns to nice, quiet alleys, break a few fingers, overhear a few more things. Before you know it,
No one here. We go.
In a hurry? You're afraid?
Unsullied, fear nothing.
Right. Well, that's your problem. You understood fear once, long ago, but you've forgotten what it means. Someone who's forgotten fear has forgotten how to hide.
Fear is useful that way.
Sons of the Harpy. They want to put a collar back on my neck. On all of our necks, please, Your Grace. You must kill him.
It would send a message.
I think you should exercise restraint, Your Grace.
Why?
Well, for one thing, he may have valuable information.
Well, the son of the Harpy has no more valuable information.
How do you know that?
Because I questioned him.
And the information you did get, he is young and poor.
He is born free.
Why should he want to bring back slavery? What did it do for him?
Perhaps the only thing that gave him pride was knowing that there was someone lower than he was.
They pay him. Great families afraid to do a thing. They pay poor men to do it for them.
And how do you know this?
Everyone knows this.
I don't know it, and I'm the head of a great family.
We do not know what this man did or didn't do. Give him a trial, at least. A fair trial. Show all the citizens of Marine that you are better than those who would depose you. Teach them a better way.
I do not know the place from where old Sir comes. Things maybe are different there, I hope. But here, in Marine, before Daenerys Stormborn, they own us. So we learn much about them, or we do not live long. They teach me what they are. Mercy, fair trial. These mean nothing to them. All they understand is blood.
Thank you all for your counsel.
Your Grace, a word, please, I beg you.
About what?
About your father. About the Mad King.
The Mad King. You're here to remind me of my enemy's lies? Consider me reminded.
Your Grace, I served in his King's Guard. I was at his side from the first. Your enemies did not lie.
Go on.
When the people rose in revolt against him, your father set their towns and castles aflame. He murdered sons in front of their fathers. He burned men alive with wildfire and laughed as they screamed. And his efforts to stamp out dissent led to a rebellion that killed every Targaryen, except two.
I'm not my father.
No, Your Grace. Thank the gods. But the Mad King gave his enemies the justice he thought they deserved. And each time, it made him feel powerful and right. Until the very end.
I will not have the son of the Harpy executed without a fair trial.
Your Grace.
There's a bug.
Yes, best be careful. You might accidentally consume some solid food.
When I agreed to come with you, did I misrepresent my intentions? Besides, what else is there for me to do inside this fucking box?
You don't like it?
I want to take a walk.
You can't. Cersei has offered a lordship to the man who brings her your head.
She ought to offer her cunt. Best part of her for the best part of me. Well, I suppose a box is as good a place for me as anywhere.
Are we really going to spend the entire road to Volantis talking about the futility of everything?
You're right, no point. The road to Volantis. You said we were going to Marine. What's in Volantis?
The road to Marine.
And what do you hope to find at the end of the road to Marine?
I told you, a ruler.
We've already got a ruler. Everywhere has already got a ruler. Every pile of shit on the side of every road has someone's banner hanging from it.
You were quite good, you know, at ruling. During your brief tenure as Hand.
I didn't rule, I was a servant.
Still, a man of talent.
Managed to kill a lot of people.
Yes, but you showed great promise in other areas as well.
She wanted me to leave King's Landing. She begged me. I wouldn't go.
Why?
Because I liked it. Power. Even as a servant.
People follow leaders. And they will never follow us. They find us repulsive.
I find us repulsive.
And we find them repulsive, which is why we surround ourselves with large, comfortable boxes to keep them away. And yet, no matter what we do, people like you and me are never really satisfied inside the box. Not for long.
You're right. Let's go for a walk.
No.
How many dwarves are there in the world? It says they're going to kill them all.
Not him.
Are you trying to deceive your queen? Shall I throw him in a cell, Your Grace?
It won't be necessary, Sir Meryn. I don't want to dissuade the other hunters. Mistakes will be made.
Thank you, Your Grace. Thank you, Your Grace.
Take the head.
Pardon me, Your Grace. I would take it, if you don't mind. It could prove useful for my work.
Very good.
Over there will be fine.
You heard the man. Over there.
You're the Hand of the King?
No, Uncle. Clearly it would not be appropriate for a woman to assume that role. I'm merely advising my son until he comes of age and chooses a hand for himself.
Your Grace, I would be willing to serve provisionally as the King's Hand until he becomes
You're a
old
good
enough
man,
to
Lord
make...
Tyrell, but I don't imagine you'll have the time. In addition to being Master of Ships, the King has appointed you Master of Coin.
Oh, Your Grace.
He called your experience and wisdom in financial matters unparalleled. He said he would be honored to have you represent the Crown's interests in the same.
The honor is all mine, Your Grace.
Your Grace, in the past, on several occasions, a Grand Maester has served as the King's Hand.
The King has named Qyburn the new Master of Whisperers.
Your Grace, him? This man? This embarrassment to the Citadel? Your Grace, what qualifications can he possibly have for this post?
The qualification of loyalty, Grand Maester. That's far more than the eunuch ever had. Far more than many ever have.
I must say, I cannot
Uncle
see
Kevin,
how...
in light of your position as commander of the Lannister armies, it would please the king if you would serve as his Master of War. No man living better deserves the title.
That is kind of you to say. I would like to hear it from the king himself.
The king is very busy at this moment.
He should be here, learning what it means to rule.
He is learning. On this occasion, in his capacity as ruler, he's asked me to speak on his behalf.
I returned to the capital to pay my respects to my brother, and to you, and to serve the king. I did not return to the capital to serve as your puppet, to watch you stack the small council with sycophants. Sending your own brother away so he won't
My
be
brother
present.
has left the capital to lead a sensitive diplomatic mission.
What mission?
That is not your concern as Master of War.
I do not recognize your authority to dictate what is and is not my concern. You are the Queen Mother. Nothing more.
You would abandon your king in his time of need.
If he wants to send for me, I will be waiting for him. At Casterly Rock.
Come on. You know this one. Looks like an animal.
Snake. S. It's an S.
Right, very good.
Did you know that the youngest Lord Commander in history, Osric Stark, was elected at the age of 10?
I know S.
You'll learn, I promise. I taught Sir Davos, and old people are terrible at learning new things.
Well, you're a wonderful teacher. Very patient.
I only said that the more time that you spend practicing, the faster you'll be able to read.
That's all right. We're doing just fine. I'm sure you and Ostrich Stark have a lot to talk about. How old were you when you learned how to read?
3.
3? Who taught you? Your mother?
No. Old Maester Crescent did. I had a lot of time to practice. My mother kept me inside because...
What do you call it in the South? What happened to your face?
Grayscale. What do you call it north of the wall?
I don't know. But 2 of my sisters had it. They both died. How did they cure you?
I don't remember. I was a baby. A lot of people came and tried, I think. Whatever they did, it went away. What happened to your sisters?
My father made them move out of the keep into the hut outside. None of us were allowed to go near them, but we heard them, especially at night. They started to sound not like themselves.
Did you ever see them?
Only once at the end. They were covered with it. Their faces, their arms, they acted like animals. My father had to drag them out to the woods on a rope.
What did he do with them in the woods? Mother.
Leave us.
Your Grace.
You need to stay away from that girl.
Why?
She's a wildling.
Her name's Gilly. She's nice. I'm teaching her how to read.
She's a wildling. Your father defeated her people. He executed their king for treason. They could strike at him by striking at you.
Gilly wouldn't do that.
You have no idea what people will do. All your books and you still don't know.
I ordered Mance Rayder burnt at the stake. You prevented that order from being carried out. You showed mercy to Mance Rayder. The king's word is law. Perhaps you should ask Sir Davos how much mercy I show to lawbreakers. Show too much kindness, people won't fear you. If they don't fear you, they don't follow you.
With respect, Your Grace, the free folk will never follow you, no matter what you do. You're the man who burned their king alive.
Who then? You?
No. Only one of their own.
Do you know this wretched girl? Lyanna Mormont?
The Lord Commander's niece.
Lady of Bear Island. And a child of 10. I asked her to commit her house to my cause. That's her response.
Bear Island knows no king but the king in the north, whose name is Stark.
That amuses you.
Apologize, Your Grace. Northerners can be a bit like the free folk. Loyal to their own.
I know. My brother Robert went on often and loudly about how difficult it was to control them. Even with your father's help.
Tonight, the Night's Watch elects a new Lord Commander. Sir Alistair Thorne is going to win.
Most likely.
Unpleasant man. He thinks you're a traitor. What's your life going to be like here at the Wall with Thorne in command?
Unpleasant, I expect.
Your bravery made him look weak. He'll punish you for it. I don't punish men for bravery. I reward them.
I don't doubt it, Your Grace. But I'm a brother of the Night's Watch. I pledge them my life, my honor, my sword. I don't know what I have left to give you.
You can give me the North.
I can't. Even if I wanted to, I'm a bastard. The snow.
Kneel before me.
Lay your sword at my feet. Pledge me your service, and you'll rise again as Jon Stark, Lord of Winterfell.
We'll make you a Stark with the stroke of a pen. It's the first thing I ever remember wanting. A daydream that my father would ask the king. And just like that, would never be the bastard of Winterfell again.
You deserve this. You do. I couldn't be happier for you.
I'm gonna refuse him.
But you'd be Lord of Winterfell.
I swore a vow to the Night's Watch. If I don't take my own words seriously, what sort of Lord of Winterfell would I be?
Crowded. You'd think we were serving venison stew.
Does anyone wish to speak for candidates before we cast our tokens for the 998th Lord Commander of the Night's Watch?
Sir Alistair Thorne is not just a knight, he's a man of true nobility. He was acting commander when the wall came under attack and led us to victory against the wildlings. He's a veteran of 100 battles and has been a defender of the Watch and the Wall almost all of his life. He's the only true choice.
Sir Dennis Mallister joined the Watch as a boy and has served loyally longer than any other ranger. Through 10 winters he served. As commander of the Shadow Tower, he kept the wildlings away. We could do no better.
If there's no one else, we will begin the voting. The triangular tokens count for Sir Alistair Thorne. The square tokens for Sir Dennis Mallister. Each
Mr.
brother
Raymond.
will... Samuel Tarly, go on.
Sam the Slayer. Another wildling lover, just like his friend Jon Snow. How's your lady love, Slayer?
Her name is Gilly. Brother Slint knows her quite well. They cowered together in the larder during the battle for the Wall.
Lies!
A wildling girl, a baby, and Lord Janos. I found him there after the battle was over, in a puddle of his own making. Whilst Lord Janos was hiding with the women and children, Jon Snow was leading. Sir Alistair fought bravely, it is true. And when he was wounded, it was Jon who saved us. He took charge of the Wall's defense. He killed the Magna of the Thenns. He went north to deal with Mance Rayder, knowing it almost certainly meant his own death. Before that, he led the mission to avenge Lord Commander Mormont. Mormont himself chose Jon to be his steward. He saw something in Jon, and now we've all seen it too. He may be young, but he's the commander we turned to when the night was darkest.
I can't argue with any of that. But who does Jon Snow want to command? Night's Watch or the Wildlings? Everyone knows he loved a wildling girl and spoke with Mance Rayder many times. What would have happened in that tent between those two old friends if Stannis' army hadn't come along? We all saw him put the king beyond the wall out of his misery. Do you want to choose a man who has fought the wildlings all his life? Or a man who makes love to them?
It is time.
appears to be a tie, Maester.
You. You. What have you got there? I said.
Turn around and go. Turn around and go.
That's a nice little sword. Worth 100 pigeons, a sword like that.
Nothing's worth anything to dead men.
Quickly, go, go!
Who are you? Why were they scared of you?
You lost this.
You said there was no Jack and Hagar here.
There isn't. A man is not Jack and Hagar.
Well, who are you then?
No one. And that is who a girl must become.
Fendashe je krej kishil. Shiro wanye papkhalega je jingel frojilath misa. Valda kiswa misa thol.
Why?
Ashe, misa. Evilshka je jazdang mulilash. Iwi wondo sheli shesh pa filma. Achetang yasharua. Sheyela chet.
Il vasgatori iles. Idrenejum bare. Drivi mi jetta.
Mel prisha shisha ochni eskore shish. Fos dal crotching wechi.
Pus dari hizir Lucias costaur. Aixar hizi Lucias hostaur.
Shespal shemash pa kamvash. Spal niwas pa proke shil shashinashwa aj. Eska togo nodo majidashwa ye. Ni ekel kurong ni azanja yamel. Oda vang shileri ni eches ni ekiveshka. Kweyangi ashkishka cheta shefiwa treshoshi. Ni ekiv mulilash. Eska os willy willosh. Rorushish pa treshes pa yazdang yau tujeva wapa filma. Kiho tashtol?
Guragon jazdano. Glyson eochani sostaur. Ziri aixia. Vitri iris.
Shishilolshka ye vitril.
Vitri isa. Siriandros.
She should have cut off the traitor's head in the Great Pyramid and been done with it.
Should I keep telling her to do to you?
Kiviso dari drivi melux vestretan. Se pa djevi remi, inot dranje dat. Gjahe e danje me gjere otolion, zakon kostos të aur.
Misa, Godlo, Ingelere.
Merino pasti ed rene jumbiles, se bisa vala zirio sentas, kilonarion morchon issa.
Misa.
I'll stand guard outside your door tonight, Your Grace.
You all guard tonight.
Leave me. Dragon.
Vala, more gorgeous.
Vala Dohaeris.
I've been sweeping this floor for days.
Good.
I didn't come here to sweep floors.
No? Why come then?
You said I could be your apprentice. You said you'd teach me how to be a faceless man.
A man teaches a girl. Vala Dohaeris. All men must serve. Faceless men most of all.
I want to serve.
A girl wants to serve herself. Here we serve the many-faced god. To serve well. A girl must become no one.
Which one's the many-faced god? I see the stranger. I see the drowned god. I see the wayward face.
There is only one god. A girl knows his name. And all men know his gift.
Where are they taking him?
I am his, and she is mine, from this day until the end of my days.
Did I hurt you?
No, you were lovely.
It all happened so fast.
Yes.
I was scared maybe I hurt you. It sounded...
No, no, no. You're very sweet. The sweetest king who ever lived.
This is all I want to do. All day, every day, for the rest of my life.
Wouldn't that be glorious? Shouldn't we rest a little while? Just to catch our breath. There's no rush, is there?
Of course not. Are you hungry? Should I have them bring you some cake or pomegranate juice?
No, I'm fine. I just want you all to myself. I want to know everything there is to know about King Tommen, first of his name.
King Tommen? Still sounds strange to me. Does Queen Marjorie sound strange to you?
So strange. Husband.
Wife. Sometimes it feels odd. I'm the king. I've married the most beautiful woman in the world. It's all because my brother died.
I understand. But it's not your fault. You know that, don't you? You mustn't feel guilty.
I don't feel guilty. That's what's odd. Do you like to sail?
I love to sail.
I do too.
I think we're going to be very happy, you and I.
I do too.
Living in a tower so high it touches the clouds. Of course, my grandmother couldn't wait to go home. The capital's not for everyone, I suppose. Does your mother like it here?
I don't think so. She told me never to trust anyone in King's Landing.
It's so wonderful to have her watching over you. A lioness guarding her cub.
Well, but I'm a man now.
You are. And the king. But you'll always be her baby boy.
I suppose.
I adore her. She's always been so generous with me, so kind. And the horrors she's had to endure. Losing her husband, her eldest child, and her father. It's no wonder she's so protective of you. She'll never let you out of her sight.
You look very much in love. The first days of marriage are often so blissful. She's certainly very pretty, isn't she? Like a doll. She smiles quite a lot. Do you think she's intelligent? I can't quite tell. Not that it matters.
Do you ever miss Casterly Rock?
There's nothing for me in Casterly Rock.
But that's where you grew up. You always told me that you liked the people there better. You said that King's Landing smelled of horse dung and sour milk.
Why are we speaking of Casterly Rock?
The way that you talked about it. I always thought that you missed it. That it was your real home.
This is my real home now, where my family lives.
I want you to be happy, Mother.
I know that. I know you do. My sweet boy.
But wouldn't you be happier in Casterly Rock?
I said, darling. Surely 4 times is enough. Are you trying to set a new record? And he said, well, what is the record? I'm sure we can break it. Mother. Welcome.
Don't you look lovely? Marriage agrees with you.
Can we bring you anything to eat or drink? I wish we had some wine for you. It's a bit early in the day for us.
No, I can't stay. I just wanted to let you know if there's ever anything I can do for you.
You were very sweet.
Tommen seems quite taken with his new queen.
I absolutely adore him. You raised a gallant young man. I'm forever grateful.
Good. Good. I'm glad to hear you're happy.
Ecstatic. I really am. Exhausted, to be honest, but what could I expect? He is half lion, half stag.
I'll leave you to it then.
Oh, forgive me. I haven't been at court for long. I get so confused. What's the proper way to address you now? Queen Mother or Dowager Queen?
There's no need for such formalities.
In any event, judging from the King's enthusiasm, the Queen Mother will be a Queen Grandmother soon.
Wouldn't that be a lovely day?
Can you imagine the celebrations? They'll ring the bells all day and night.
Remember, anything you need.
We can't hold the North with terror alone.
You can't hold the North if you let these lesser lords insult us.
I sent you there to collect taxes, not bodies.
Lord Cowan refused to pay. Said the Warden of the North would always be a Stark, and he'd be damned if he'd kiss a traitor's boot.
He left you no choice.
I flayed him living, along with his wife and brother. Made his son watch.
And?
The new Lord Cowan paid his taxes.
I have something important to tell you. Stop eating and listen. We don't have enough men to hold the North if the other houses rise up against us. Do you understand that?
Our pact with the Lannisters protects
I had a
us.
pact with Tywin Lannister, and Tywin Lannister is dead. The remaining Lannisters are 1,000 miles away dealing with that fact. They've never once in the history of the Seven Kingdoms sent their army this far north. If you think they will for us, you're a fool. We become a great house by entering into alliances with other houses, and parlaying those alliances into greater power. The best way to forge a lasting alliance isn't by peeling a man's skin off. The best way is marriage. Now that you're a Bolton by royal decree, it's high time you married a suitable bride. And as it happens, I found the perfect girl to solidify our hold on the North.
That's Moat Cailin.
Yes. Bit shabby, isn't it? You've been here before.
On our way down to King's Landing with my father and Arya. Where are you taking me?
Home.
The Boltons have Winterfell. Your marriage proposal, it wasn't for you.
No.
Bruce Bolton murdered my brother. He betrayed my family.
He did.
He serves the Lannisters.
For now.
I won't go.
Winterfell is your home.
Not anymore.
Always. You're a Stark. Dyeing your hair doesn't change that. You're Sansa Stark, eldest surviving child of Ned and Catelyn Stark. Your place is in the North.
I can't marry him. You can't make me. He is a traitor, a murderer.
You're not marrying Roose Bolton. No, you'll be marrying his son and heir, Ramsay. One day he'll be Warden of the North, and you'll... Sansa...
No, you can't make me. I will starve myself. I will die before I have to go there.
I won't force you to do anything. Don't you know by now how much I care for you? Say the word and we'll turn the horses round, but listen to me. Listen. You've been running all your life. Terrible things happen to your family and you weep. You sit alone in a darkened room, mourning their fates. You've been a bystander to tragedy from the day they executed your father. Stop being a bystander, do you hear me? Stop running. There's no justice in the world. Not unless we make it. You loved your family. Avenge them.
How do we get through there?
We don't. We go around.
Takes us miles out the way. We'll lose sight of them.
Doesn't matter. I know where they're going. Aren't you getting a bit old to be a squire? How did you end up squiring for the imp?
He hates that nickname.
Well, he's not here to complain about it, is he?
I squired for a knight named Sir Lorimer during the War of the Five Kings. One night, he had a bit too much to drink, and he was famished, so he borrowed a ham.
He borrowed it?
He wasn't a thief. He was drunk and hungry, and he wasn't thinking. I was drunk, too. He gave me half the ham. The next morning, one of the guards saw him passed out under a wagon with the ham bone still in his hand. They hanged him that afternoon. They tied a noose for me, too, but Lord Tywin heard my family name was Payne, so he pardoned me and sent me to King's Landing to squire for his son.
As punishment? For both of you?
It didn't seem that way. Lord Tyrion was always very good to me.
Yes, all your lords have been very kind to you. All except me. Sorry you had to squire for such a nasty person.
I'm not sorry. You're the best fighter I've ever seen. You beat the Hound. I'm proud to be your squire.
I'm sorry I'm always snapping at you.
If you didn't snap at me, I wouldn't learn anything.
You want to be a knight, Pod?
Yes.
Starting tomorrow, we'll train with the sword twice a day. Before we ride in the morning and after we make camp in the evening. And I'm going to show you how to ride properly.
Thank you.
I can't knight you, but I can teach you how to fight.
I suppose that's more important. You weren't a knight, but you were a king's guard to Renly Baratheon, weren't you?
I was.
Lord Tyrion said he was a good man.
He was.
How did you end up serving Renly?
When I was a girl, my father held a ball. I'm his only living child, so he wanted to make a good match for me. He invited dozens of young lords to Tarth. I didn't want to go, but he dragged me to the ballroom. And it was wonderful. None of the boys noticed how mulish and tall I was. They shoved each other and threatened to duel when they thought it was their turn to dance. They whispered in my ear how they wanted to marry me and take me back to their castles. My father smiled at me and I smiled at him. I'd never been so happy. Till I saw a few of the boys sniggering. And then they all started to laugh. They couldn't keep the game going any longer. They were toying with me. Brienne the Beauty, they called me. Great joke. And I realized I was the ugliest girl alive. A great lumbering beast. I tried to run away, but Renly Baratheon took me in his arms. Don't let them see your tears, he told me. They're nasty little shits, and nasty little shits aren't worth crying over. He danced with me and none of the other boys could say a word. Renly was the king's brother, after all.
But wasn't he... Lord Tyrion said he was...
Yes, Pod, he liked men. I'm not an idiot. He didn't love me, he didn't want me. He danced with me because he was kind and didn't want to see me hurt. He saved me from being a joke. From that day until his last day. And I couldn't save him in return. Nothing's more hateful than failing to protect the one you love.
One day I will avenge King Renly.
But you said a shadow murdered him. How do you fight a shadow?
A shadow with the face of Stannis Baratheon. I know Stannis. I know it in my heart. Stannis is a man, not a shadow. And a man can be killed.
Lord Commander?
Your Grace.
Like to speak alone?
Ollie is my steward now, as I was Lord Commander moments. I want him to attend my meetings, to learn from men with experience. One day, he might command.
Very well. Have you considered my offer?
I have. And I thank you for it. You do me great honor. All my life, I wanted to be Jon Stark.
Say the word and you will be.
But I have to refuse you. I'm Lord Commander of the Night's Watch. My place is here.
I'm giving you the chance to avenge your family. To take back the castle where you grew up. To rule the North.
I wish I could fight beside you. Believe me, I do. But I swore a sacred vow at the Godswood. I pledged my life to the Night's Watch.
You're as stubborn as your father. And as honorable.
I can imagine no higher praise.
I didn't mean it as praise. Honor got your father killed. But if your mind's made up, I won't try and dissuade you.
May I ask, Your Grace, how long you plan to stay at Castle Black?
Are you bored of us already?
You saved us from Mance Rayder's army. We will never forget that. But it's a question of survival. The Night's Watch can't continue to feed your men and the Wildling prisoners indefinitely. Winter is coming.
I know it. We march on Winterfell within the fortnight, before the snows trap us here.
And the Wildlings?
They'd rather burn than fight for me, so be it. I leave their fate to you. You could execute them, that's the safest course. Or you could see if this Torment fella's more willing to compromise than Mance ever was. I assume the brothers of the Night's Watch would rather see the Wildlings dead.
Most of the brothers, yes. There's little love for the free folk here.
You're the Lord Commander. Your decision. You have many enemies in Castle Black. Have you considered sending Alistair Thorne elsewhere? Give him command of Eastwatch by the Sea.
I heard it was best to keep your enemies close.
Whoever said that didn't have many enemies.
He sees something in you. Might not be apparent from his tone, but it's the truth. He believes in you.
I'm sorry I disappointed him.
The king is a complicated man, but he wants to do what's right for the Seven Kingdoms.
As long as he's ruling them.
He's the one true king. He has a blood right to that throne.
I've sworn to stay clear of the politics of the Seven Kingdoms.
Have you now? How does the Night's Watch vow go again? I bet you've got it memorized since you got here.
Night gathers and now my watch begins.
No, not that bit. The bit at the end.
I am the sword in the darkness, the watcher on the walls, the shield that guards the realms of men. I pledge my life.
Right, that's enough. The shield that guards the realms of men. That's what you swore to be. Now, I'm not a learned man, but the best way to help the most people might not be sitting in a frozen castle at the edge of the world. It just might mean wading in the muck, getting your boots dirty, and doing what needs to be done.
And what needs to be done?
As long as the Boltons rule the North will suffer. Just one man's opinion.
What do you want?
Who are you?
What?
You, who walk in here with a coin you never earned, whose value you do not respect. Who are you?
No one. Ow! Cunt!
A lie. A sad little lie. Who are you?
I told you I'm no... Do that again!
Who are you?
You're about to find out.
What are you doing?
We were only playing. The game of faces.
The girl is not ready.
Clearly not.
I am ready.
For what?
For whatever you want. To be a faceless man. To be no one.
Whose sword is that? It belongs to Arya Stark. Arya Stark's sword, Arya Stark's clothes, Arya Stark's stolen silver. A man wonders, how is it that no one came to be surrounded by Arya Stark's things?
What do we do with them after we wash them?
Open gate!
Lady Sansa, welcome.
Lord Bolton.
May I introduce my son, Ramsay Bolton?
It's an honor to meet you, my lady.
I'll bring you a bowl of hot water. You must want to wash.
Thank you.
Welcome home, Lady Stark. The North remembers.
Sam. Mr. Raymond?
He apologizes for not being here. He's not feeling well.
Take good care of him.
Brothers, as you all know too well, it's long past time to dig a new latrine pit. First Builder Yarwick and I have decided to appoint a latrine captain to oversee this crucial task. Brian. Seems like a good job for a ginger. Sir Alistair. You have more experience than any other ranger at Castle Black. You proved your valor many times over while defending the wall from the wildling attack. I name you First Ranger. Lord Janis, I'm giving you command of Greyguard.
Greyguard is a ruin.
Yes, the fort is in a sorry state. Restore it as best you can. First Builder Yarwick can spare 10 of his...
I was charged with the defense of King's Landing when you were soiling your swaddling clothes. Keep your ruin.
All right. It's enough of that.
You mistake me, my lord. That was a command, not an offer. Pack your arms and armor, say your farewells, and ride for Greyguard.
I will not go meekly off to freeze and die. Give it to one of the fools who cast a stone for you. I will not have it. Did you hear me, boy? I will not have it!
Are you refusing to obey my order?
You can stick your order up your bastard ass.
Take Lord Janis outside. Ollie, bring me my sword.
cannot do this! Get your hands off me! Scum! All of you! If the boy thinks he can frighten me, he's mistaken. Yes, very mistaken. Disgrace! I have friends, important friends in the capital. You'll see.
If you have any last words, my lord, now's the time.
I was wrong. You're the Lord Commander. We all serve you. I'm sorry, not only for this, for all I've done and said. I was wrong. My lord, please, mercy. Mercy. I'll go, I will. Please. I'm afraid. I've always been afraid.
You have served us well, my son.
Thank you, Father.
Which of the 7 will you worship today?
The maiden.
Always the maiden.
And the stranger.
2 is extra, you realize?
Yes, yes.
What are you doing? This establishment belongs to Lord Peter Baelish. You can't...
You have profaned our faith, the faith of our fathers and forefathers.
I am the High Septon of the...
You are a sinner, and you shall be punished.
Sinner, 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 sinner,
Repent!
sinner,
Sinner!
sinner, sinner, sinner,
Shame on you!
sinner, sinner.
Your Grace, Grand Maester, Lord Tyrell.
It doesn't matter.
As the High Septon of the Faith of the 7, I give voice to the will of the gods and am their foremost servant in this world. An insult to me is an insult to the gods. An assault on my person is an assault on our very religion.
You were assaulted.
I was, by those fanatics who call themselves sparrows. They humiliated me, they beat me, they left me naked and bleeding on the cobblestones. I am lucky to be alive.
I heard this assault began in Littlefinger's brothel.
High Septon, this is a rather shocking thing to hear.
I tend to both the highest born and the lowliest amongst us. Even prostitutes may earn the mercy of the mother.
So you were ministering to the needs of these devout prostitutes?
A man's private affairs ought to stay private.
What do you want from us, High Septon?
Justice. I ask that you protect our faith by arresting these criminals and throwing them in the black cells. I ask that you execute their leader, this so-called High Sparrow. He is a threat to everything we hold sacred. If he goes unpunished...
Then where do I find this man? This High Sparrow?
don't think this is a good idea, Your Grace.
Nonsense, Samarin. These are deeply religious people. Where can I find the High Sparrow?
7 blessings, brother.
Wait, John.
Thank you.
Just a little more.
The young man said I'd find the High Sparrow back here. Where is he?
High Sparrow. Sounds ridiculous, doesn't it? Like Lord Duckling or King Turtle. So, it's meant to. We're often stuck with the names our enemies give to us. The notion that we're all equal in the eyes of the Seven doesn't sit well with some, so they belittle me.
7 blessings to you.
7 blessings to you, my dear. It's only a name. Quite an easy burden to bear. Far easier than hers.
Why no shoes?
Because I gave them away to someone who needed them more. We all do that. It stops us from forgetting what we really are.
Is that why you came to King's Landing? To remind everyone?
Everyone. It's a hard enough job reminding myself. Well, I tell them no one's special, and they think I'm special for telling them so.
Perhaps they're right.
It would be comforting to believe that, wouldn't it? The gods sent you here to tempt me. I hope not. I had assumed you'd only come here to arrest me for that incident with the High Septon.
An unacceptable way to treat the chosen representative of the gods in this world, wouldn't you say?
Hypocrisy is a boil. Lancing a boil is never pleasant. Although they could have been more careful with the blade.
The High Septon came to speak to me today. Doesn't want me to arrest you, he wants me to execute you.
I wouldn't presume to know your thoughts on the matter.
My thoughts on the matter are in line with your own. The High Septon's behavior was corrosive, as was his attitude. Having a man like that reside in the Sept eats away at the faith from the inside. So now he resides in the Red Keep dungeons instead. The faith and the crown are the 2 pillars that hold up this world. One collapses, so does the other. We must do everything necessary to protect one another.
Your Grace.
Send a raven with this message to Littlefinger at the Eyrie or wherever he's slithering about.
At once, Your Grace.
How's your work coming along?
Very well.
You've made progress?
More than I expected. Still a way to go, but...
Very good. I'll leave you to it then. Make sure Littlefinger is clear on the meaning of the word immediately.
Easy, friend.
She really is lovely. I hope I can make her happy.
I hope so too. I've become quite fond of Lady Sansa during our travels together. She's suffered enough.
I'll never hurt her. You have my word.
I've heard very little about you, which makes you quite a rare thing, as lords go.
I haven't been a lord very long. I was a bastard.
And you're not anymore. Allow me a moment alone with Lord Baelish.
Yes, Father. And thank you, Lord Baelish. I'm forever in your debt.
He seems pleased.
Shouldn't he be?
I assure you she's still a virgin. Tyrion never consummated the marriage. By the law of the land, she is no man's wife. Inspect her if you must.
I leave that to the brothel keeper. It's her name I need, not her virtue.
Then I have delivered everything I promised.
And you're prepared for the consequences. And the Lannisters here I've wed Sansa Stark to Ramsay.
The Lannister name doesn't mean what it once did. Tywin is dead. He kept his house in power through sheer will. Without him, Jaime has one hand and no allies. Tommen is a soft boy, not a king to fear.
The Queen will be enraged.
Queen Marjorie adores Sansa. Cersei is Queen Mother, a title whose importance wanes with each passing day.
And yet she's still his friend. Men in important places whom she can ask for favors. A message for you from Cersei Lannister. A rider arrived from the Eyrie shortly before dawn. Apparently, she thinks you're still in the Vale.
A message from me, you say? Strange that the seal is broken.
I'm sure you understand my position, Lord Baelish. If you receive word in the night from the Queen Mother, it does make me question our new alliance. The Lannisters made you one of the great lords of Westeros. Yet here you are in the north, undermining them. Why gamble with your position?
Every ambitious move is a gamble. You gambled when you drove a dagger into Robb Stark's heart. It appears that your gamble paid off. You're Warden of the North.
I had Tywin Lannister's backing. Who supports me now? You?
The Eyrie is mine. The last time the Lords of the Eyrie formed an alliance with the Lords of the North, they brought down the greatest dynasty this world has ever known. I'd like to borrow one of your birds. Cersei will expect a reply.
I'd like to read the reply.
I have to get out of this wheelhouse.
Volantis is a large city.
I have to get out of this wheelhouse.
The likelihood of you being spotted here increases 100-fold.
I have to get out of this wheelhouse.
I'm not sure how many new ways I can find of saying this.
I will not be of any use to Daenerys Targaryen if I lose my mind. I can't remember the last face I saw that wasn't yours.
It's a perfectly good face.
I'm losing my mind.
If anyone recognizes you, you'll lose more than that.
Look, we are thousands of miles from Westeros. What am I? One more drunk dwarf.
Slaves.
Yes. The Volantene masters are very organized. Flies for dung shovelers. Hammers for builders. Tears for whores. Lest they forget. We should keep moving.
Hai, gemeistin. Sinditi selior. Kilonte seors batte.
The only red priest we had in King's Landing was Thoros of Myr. This one's much better looking.
Daris ribis. separdoharios ribis, mundari dorenki ribis.
Stone men. Good luck stopping the spread of grayscale with prayer. You'd have better luck dancing away the plague.
Seponte ornitas, gemo carinho gitas puis velios persomis iglitas. Daria zaldrizzoti.
We're going to meet the Savior. You should have told me. Who doesn't want to meet the Savior? Come on. Let's find a brothel. It's even better luck to suck a dwarf's cock.
See? We blend right in. Just two more travelers, mad with lust.
Thank you.
Curious hair.
The mother of dragons.
It appears you're not the only Targaryen supporter.
Just at an east to see you. I've got a dragon for you. How much to make him spit?
Someone who inspires priests and whores is worth taking seriously.
What makes you worth that much?
I'm magic.
I'll bet you bloody are.
Well, she's taken.
Where are you going? I need to speak to someone with hair. Hello?
Hello.
You've got no drink.
You've got no money.
Do I look like a man without money? Never trust looks. Until quite recently, I was one of the richest men in the world. But who needs wealth when you can make a woman laugh? I always pay my debts. I'm well known for it.
You like her? They all like her. They all want to fuck a queen.
That's because they've never met a queen.
You're just saying that.
You know how to spot a liar. If I could pick any girl here, I would pick you.
Why?
Because you have a skeptical mind.
All right then. I'm warning you. We're gonna have to wash you first. Come on.
I'm sorry, I can't.
Of course you can. You're shy.
I'm not.
Have another drink.
Gladly, but this I can't do. Believe me, no one is more shocked than I am. I hope it passes. What will I do in my spare time? Go for a piss, that's a start.
No need to worry. I was just... Oh.
Thought you were someone else.
The show's almost over.
I'm sure there are girls inside who'd be happy to oblige.
Made some kind of mistake. Why don't you tell me what you think you're doing, and then...
I'm taking you to the Queen.